Sequoia, how you doing? How can I help you today? Come on, let me help you. Tell me what you need help with, because that's what we're doing at Let's Go Help is showing people how to get money and help to solve your problems. Okay? So if I don't know what the problem is, it's hard for me to help you do that. And that's what we have 15,000 members that are doing this to everybody. That's how I think you could really show how the government does love you. That sounds a little foolish. Maybe that's just a stupid old man talking. But how else? They give you so much money. As a country, we give out, like $4 or $5 trillion to people to do what they want in life and to solve problems. Now, so that's like a family member helping you. You don't have to pay it back or anything. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds a lot like love to me, right? Where you help people without expecting anything in return. Now, sure, you're paying taxes and that's it. But people don't think of the government that way. And it's not only the government, it's nonprofit organizations. And I think that's because capitalism has worked so well for us. But remember that capitalism isn't about giving, it's about making money, okay? And that's not a giving characteristic, and that's fine. But what about the people who don't have money? How are we going to help each other? And I think that's, as a human being, what we have in us is the need to give help to other people. Okay, so as a country, that's what I sort of see is the country is doing that, helping people who need help. Now, certainly people abuse that, and the greedy people certainly take advantage of it, and that's part of life. That happens everywhere. It doesn't mean it's bad. It doesn't mean all of it's bad. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't do something about it. Yes, we should. We should be vigilant and making it harder. And unfortunately, we make it easier sometimes. Like now, I don't know why we let $1 trillion. The government is trying to find $1 trillion to help pay the debt. We're in debt terribly, and that is a big problem for us in the long run. That means our children has to pay for the money that we're spending now. And that's not fair to our children. So we have to get rid of that debt. And so that's what I think that Trump's trying to do, get rid of a debt, but he's not doing it. To me, that gets rid of debt. He's creating more debt. By giving $1 trillion to millionaires, he's creating more debt and not eliminating the debt. And that's too bad. And what I think everybody is missing is the money available from the IRS. Now they want to cut out medical grants that are available to people. So in budgets and Trump's new plan, they're going to cut almost $1 trillion in Medicaid. That's health care for people who don't have it, and give $1 trillion to millionaires. That's crazy. If you look at where the money is to get, it's not to hurt people who can't afford health care. We have a terrible health care system now. We pay twice as much for health care than any other developed country, and we have the worst outcomes. We have the fattest people. People in other countries live longer. People in other countries don't die in the hospital as often. All these kinds of things that show that we're not doing a good job at that. But we're cutting $1 trillion of that to pay $1 trillion to rich people, millionaires. Now, where you could get $1 trillion easier without hurting anybody is at the IRS. Now, the IRS, they estimate, and this is from independent people too, anywhere from 600 billion, so that's way over $500 billion, to $1 trillion, depending on the estimates, of people that owe the IRS money in just 1 year. So every year we're losing anywhere from 600 billion to $1 trillion in uncollected taxes that people owe. They're using the system, but they're not paying for it like the rest of us. So they don't pay their taxes. And that's up to $1 trillion, man. So we could give, I don't know how many millions and millions of people health care to solve the debt problem by collecting uncollected taxes. Wow. Why doesn't anybody think of that? Because the people making decisions, I think, don't pay their taxes. I guess. What else is there? And what they do is they cut the staff at the IRS that is collecting taxes. So we don't have people to go collect the taxes. If Chase Bank, if you owed money to Chase Bank, they'd be all over your ass, right? They'd be collecting your house, your 2 children, and everything to get their money back. We don't do anything. We just let the people. But remember, if you're not a millionaire, the IRS does have programs where you don't have to pay all your taxes you owe. So don't hide from the IRS, because that creates, just. It ruins your insides, I think. The worry, the grief, the anxiety that you create by knowing that you should do something and you don't creates illness, I think, in your life that you don't need to have. Okay, so you have to do that by confronting it. And there's something in the government called IRS called offer in compromise. Okay, so that's what they do. That's a program. And even state governments have that also, where it's an offer in compromise. We have a nice woman who is a mentor here, that she got to pay only 10% of what she owed in back taxes through this program called an offer in compromise. Okay, it's my pinky ring. The other guys that did the same thing I did, I don't know what. Yeah. How are you collecting those under the wealth threshold when there is a declaration allowance of 300,000 disregard without explanation? Don't know. People on YouTube are writing these questions in the chat. I have no idea what they're talking about. I guess I missed the first chat. But if you need help in financial problem, you need money to do something. You want to do something in life. I mean, that's what the government has. I mean, the government gives out an average of $18,000 to people every year. Okay, and the rich people know this, and this is why they're getting more and more of the money that they don't even need, but we're paying for as taxpayers. So we're paying for this when they don't need it. But how are you going to pay the rent? Okay, how are you going to pay your utility bills? Things like that. How are you going to start a business? There are programs all over the country, that help you do that. And that's what we do at Let's Go Help. We show you these programs, and this is, to me, how people love each other. They help you do something, right? If you love me, you help me do something. And you don't criticize me. You help me get out of the problem. I know I have a problem. You don't have to tell me I'm an asshole. I know it. I have this problem. You're going to say stuff like this, then you should prove. U.S. funding grants, they're only ones would give you the plan. Go to U.S. funding grant. Well, I don't know. I know there are people. I think U.S. funding is one of them. There are private organizations that talk about it, and some are good, some are bad, and because it's all public information. I mean, my first New York Times bestseller was a book I plagiarized from the government printing office. It's called The Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance, and they've been publishing that since the middle '60s. And back in the 80s, I found that book at government printing office, cut and pasted it, sent it to people in New York, and it became a New York Times bestseller. I called it Getting Yours. And it's all plagiarized from the government, because nothing in the government is copyrighted. So you take anything in the government you want and be able to get money. And this is what 50 years experience in reading. So this is what the rich people do too. This is how I learned about this. I was helping Fortune 500 companies take advantage of government information. and I trained them how to use it. And then I said, gosh, they don't even need the money. Why don't I just help the people who need this money? So that's why I'm here today. And I figure I have about 10 more years to do this, and I'm going to devote the rest of my life just helping people learn about these resources. These are tools, resources that you should use. It's like learning how to drive a car. If you want to get through the society, you have to learn how to drive a car. You can take public transportation, but you have to be living in a place where they have it, and most people don't have it. If you want to get information on stuff, you have to learn how to use the computer. If you want to know how to get money free, you have to learn how to use the government and nonprofit organizations. If you have money, then you could solve your problems with your money, and you could go to Google. But if you don't have money, you cannot go to Google to solve your problems. So people are left out in the cold who really have financial problems, and they don't have money, so they can't use the system, which is capitalism, to help them with their financial problems because they don't have money. And capitalism requires you to have money to solve your problems. But there's an option, and that option is government and nonprofit organizations. We don't teach people about that. We don't even teach them about the 3 branches of government anymore, it seems. or the leaders aren't reading it anyway, that there are 3 branches of government. They think there's only one. But we don't teach people this. And unfortunately, we hear about it, and that's why there's just a lot talk about scams and false information, because people have an idea about what government grants are, and that's wrong, because they only know the information they get from Google, and Google is just there to sell you something. So if they're in Google, they have to get money from you. So that's why you have to stay away from Google if you don't have money. If you have money, God bless you. You spend your heart out in Google. But if you don't have money, you can't go there. You have to go to free places, and you don't have to give me money. And by the way, if you want, that's fine. We now have a community of 15,000 people that help each other learn about these programs, okay? All we do is teach each other about how to apply to these programs. And if you're a member, then you go to, you have to get access. Once you have access, you go to our Let's Go Help 2, and right in the beginning, you'll see our calendar, okay? Now, right there, you'll see, like today at 10:30, it's past 10:30, they're still live now. There's a live going on. Amber is there answering questions to members, okay? This is no extra charge. Once you give us $20 a month, there's never an extra charge, okay? Amber's there answering your questions one-on-one. You go to the Zoom call, you get hooked up, and you see, you just click on the thing and you answer a question. You raise your hand and she'll answer them one-on-one. $20 for everything. Okay, now at 3 o'clock, we have another one. Roger and Tammy help you on using artificial intelligence to get grants. Artificial intelligence is great for getting grants. And they teach you that at 3 o'clock today. Okay, they're there, everybody teaching. So this is another free thing where you could participate, get your questions answered, and they're right there to answer for you. This is one-on-one help of people who've gotten money like this. Man, Tammy has gotten hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of money, and she shares that with you. How she did it. There's no magic to this. You just have to know where to go, and it's not Google. Okay, then we have at 5 o'clock today for business and pets. Sabrina, wow. So if you have pets, how to get grants to help your pets. And Sabrina's there at 5 o'clock to help you one-on-one. Okay, it's one on many, but you get a chance to answer a question. Okay, where else are you going to get that without hiring some consultant for hundreds or thousands of dollars? I used to do that, and I used to charge that. Okay, so that's at 5 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, okay, it's learning how to use artificial intelligence to get grants. At 5 o'clock, it's learning how to get grants for business and care for your pets. Man, veterinarian bills is more than the Cleveland Clinic. And taking care of pets is more than probably raising a child nowadays. So where do you get grants? And we show you all that. Then at 7 o'clock, so that's 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock, we have coffee with Michelle. Coffee and grants. I don't know if you eat the grants too or not, but you can get a grant to start your own business. Maybe that's what you do. So you get grants to start a business, and that's at 7 o'clock tonight. Okay, then at 9 o'clock, 9:30. Okay, Tony's on there. Tony's a terrific chap that helps you, and he has 150 people coming. But everyone gets a chance to ask a question, gather questions, and you learn from other people. This is why we have 15,000 people helping each other answer these questions for you. You know, that's what the goal of all this is, for you to get the help you need, to get one-on-one help you need. We don't just throw you to the wolves. Hey, it's all in here, you figure it out. No, I used to do that with books. I sold millions and millions of books, and that costs more than $20, and I don't think a fraction of what we're helping people with now, because they're getting help. And you'll see the testimonials of people who got this money and how they got it, and that is incredible. Okay, tomorrow we start again. Okay, there's a whole bunch tomorrow and the next day. So that's why you have to be there. You have to ask for help. Help is not coming to you. You have to go find the help. That's the thing. Everybody who's given free help out there, they don't have advertising money, so you'll never find it in Google, and you have to figure this out. And that's what we do for you. And then other things we have are here. We have something under Let's Go Reports. We have 500 grants for your state. We have a report for every state that shows you 500 of the best grants that are available in your state, okay? And you just go to that link we have right there and download it, man. It's right there. And then we also have what I call the Meta Grant Report, and that's my cheat sheet for helping people for 50 years find government grants and money. And there's about 100 questions that the normal questions people ask, and you could download that and get my cheat sheet of 50 years of the best grants in America. Okay, then we also have our own, we own grants. We give out grants every month. We have 4 grants every month. Okay, Let's Go daily grants. Okay, where's the Let's Go? Start it, chat. Okay, unlock my goals, live us. Okay, Let's Go grant applications. Okay, every month we give out 4 separate grants. Okay, and that's anybody who's a paid member is eligible for. This is only for members, because this is what we do with our profits. We don't buy yachts and stuff like that or go to the moon. No, we give it back to members. So right now we're giving like $50,000 to $70,000 back to members every month in 4 different grants. We have one called the giveaway. Okay, that's a general one. You could use it for anything you want. Okay, and that's a $500 to $1,000, and we're giving out $20,000. So the next one for this is August 4th. So August 4th, before the midnight on August 4th, you could apply to get up to $1,000 to spend on anything you want. Then our next grant, and we have these every month, is for rent and mortgage. Okay, and that's due on the 20th. So actually you have the 20th of July is still on. We don't have the 20th of August yet, because it's not the 20th of August. So the 20th of July is the last day to apply for $15,000 that we're going to give out for people who help you pay rent. Okay, then, oh no, that's on the 20th, yeah. Okay, we also have the car grant every month, and the next one of that is on August 15th. So that's on the 15th. We have one on the 4th, on the 15th, and the 20th. So every month we have these, and that we give out $10,000 to help people with car repair. So you could apply for that, and you could apply to all 4 of these until you win. And then on the 30th, we give out 30 free laptop computers. Okay, 30 free laptop computers on the 30th of July. So as a member, you're eligible to apply to each one of those as many times as you want until you win all 4 of them. Okay, so that's what. And the more important thing is about the Let's Go Corner. Member testimonials is here, navigators and hosts. I mean, there's always something cooking on here, so that's why you have to go up to the calendar and see what's going on in the calendar, so you could take advantage of, I think, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, like, somebody talked about one of the other grand things, and all they are databases and not one-on-one help like we're giving. And that's because we have 15,000 members that help each other. You go to the US funding grants, though, the only ones would give you the plan. The only one, I don't know what would give you the plan. Well, you want an application, but to me, getting grants is not getting an application. It's knowing who to talk to get the right application. Anybody could fill out grants and fill out applications. That's easy, and people do that and they go nowhere, okay? That's because they don't call people first. They don't ask about what they need to do and what they have to do. Is this the right one for you? That's the key to getting money. It's not knowing, it's knowing, not where to apply, but how to apply, when to apply, who to apply, how to find the ones that aren't there. And you get that help by talking to people. You don't get it on databases. That's why the people, like I think these grant funding people, are really just databases, and that's fine, and we do a lot of that, but I'm more interested in everybody knowing not to keep up on the databases, but to keep up on who in your community gives free help to people who need money for something. So right now, if you need money to pay your rent, we'll show you how to find 50 to 70 organizations where you live that help people to pay your rent. And what you have to do is start calling these people. Because you have to talk to them to see if it's worthwhile for you to apply. Because they'll tell you they don't want to have extra applications from people who have no chance in hell of getting this. And then if you can't get the money from them, if it's not wise for you to apply, you ask them where else to apply, because they're going to know. They do this all the time. They help people like you every day, you know? So they know what's out there better than I will or anybody else will. That's what you have to do. You have to learn how to do this system. It's called investigating. You have to be an investigator to get what you want in this country. You can't just be a click and fill in the blanks person. You're never going to get anything. And we want to make it easy for you, so everybody on Google wants you to believe that it is easy, and all you have to do is click and fill in the blanks. It's not. It's not. It may be, yeah, and you may get hijacked by a terrorist, you know, and it's a possibility, but probably not going to happen to you. So you have to learn how to use the system as it is, not how you want it to be. Because nobody, even you want in your life, will act like you want them to. So you have to learn to live with what you got. And that's what it is. If you want to use the tools in society, you have to use them like they're meant to be used, not like how you'd like to use them. No, you have to figure them out and then use them like they have to be used, not like you want them to be used. That's like a relationship. You want somebody else to act like you want them to act. You can't, no. You have to love what they are and help them. That's what love is helping people do what they want to do in life. And that's why I think the government is showing love. And that's why our Let's Go Help is all people who want to love each other. Everybody here in Let's Go Help is helping other people get the money and help they need. Why? Because helping people is selfish. Because it feels so good. As a human being, you pick up a little baby and you just want to hug it to death, right? You pick up a little kitten or something, you just want to hug it to death. We're here to help and give. Sure, we have to take care of ourselves, so we have to get financing and whatever it is to do that. Yes, you have to take care of yourself first. And then what you have to do is help other people. That's why we have families, to help each other and things like that, because that's what makes us grow, and that's the important part of being a human being. The important part of being a human being is not to accumulate as much money as possible. Some people believe that, and capitalism, is a game, so a lot of people want to win the game the biggest possible, and that's fine, But there's a lot of people who need help, And to me, if we live in a society that keeps giving money to billionaires when we have more poor people in our country than any other developed country, that's a sin. I don't know anything about sins except I probably commit a bunch. But that's not, doesn't seem human. A good human doesn't do that. And we have to work at being good humans because there's too much stuff in our life that makes us be otherwise. And we have to fight that every day. And the good part of life is being nice. The good part of life is giving. That's why we want to give. We have to give because it makes us feel so good. And I feel that's what keeps us living longer. I mean, now at my age, at 82 years old, I know I can't get stronger. And as a male growing up in society, all these big muscle guys, and everybody wants to have more muscles. I don't know why. You can't eat them. And they make you even move less instead of being flexible and be able to live the fullest you can. So you want to be stronger, you want to be faster, you want to be smarter. And at my age, none of that's going to happen. I'm not going to get better at any of those things. But I feel I can get better at loving. I think I could love harder. So that's why I call our community now a loving community. So now we have 15,000 people that are loving each other and showing each other how to get the money and help they need to get through in life. Life is going to beat you up. If you're human, you're going to get beat up by this system, no matter where you live, because it's your duty as a human being, particularly if you want to do anything or solve a problem or anything, you're going to get beat up. But that's why you have to surround yourself with people that are loving and help you do that, not just are going to compete with you to do it or whatever. No, we're loving. When people learn about doing something, they want to share it with other people and show them how to do it too. And this is how we grow as a community. And that's what I feel I'm going to do until I die. And after that, I won't be here. Sorry, I really don't give a shit. But it's important. I want to feel and give as much as I can until that happens. And that's what Let's Go Help is all about. And I'm going to do this every day. Until I can't breathe anymore and do this. I mean, at 82, I didn't think I'd be doing this. My father retired in his 60s and played golf for the rest of my life. And I said, gee, that seems strange. Why would you want to retire and do something you're not too good at? You're not a pro, that kind of thing. You're not skilled. You're way back down in the pack somewhere. But you could help somebody. We all could help somebody. And that's when you learn something like this or get something from me, share it with other people. Show them how they too can pay their bills and get out of debt and started their own business if they want, or buy a house and get the health care they need. And that's what worries me. Now we're going to have like 10, 12 million people won't be able to afford health care because they're going to get cut off when, we're going to give $1 trillion to rich people. I don't know. That sort of sounds immoral, but I'm not a practicing religious person anymore. I just follow my heart, and it doesn't sound right. Okay? So let me help you. That sounds right to me. And everybody who works here at Let's Go Help, or even as a member, they don't have to work. We have very small staff, next to nothing. But it's the members. So all the people I told you about that are there today, tomorrow, and forever to help you one-on-one. On the website to answer your questions live, and you see them, you talk to them, are all there because they know they love helping people. So that's what we want to do, is build a place where people help people because of love, not because of money. Sure, we have to pay our bills. That's an important thing. You have to take care of yourself first before you can help other people. So that's what we do also, is show you where to get the money and help you need so that you could get stronger and be able to not worry about paying the bills or whatever, so you could help other people too. And that's what it's about. We help you so you could help others, okay? That's letsgohelp.com. It's all about helping each other, isn't it? And it feels so good to do that. So let us help you too.